What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Odin. His name is GrandMonster. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is I Kill You Die. The map is Watering Hole. This is best of three for the best of three series for the Challengers League. With I Kill You Die taking that first game with some really nice Ra play. Moving on to this next game, swapping it into Zeus for this Watering Hole. Funnily enough, I actually think that Ra is a pretty strong choice here against Odin or against the Norses on Watering Hole. And I find it a bit strange that I Kill You Die wouldn't have stuck with what worked for him in that first game. Things changed a little bit here on Watering Hole, but that early attack from GrandMonster doesn't work as well because of how easy it is to get the second gold mine. In fact, it's a beautiful back gold mine here. All that being said, Zeus, definitely strong god to be playing here against Odin. You can use the centaur to raid quite nicely, do a lot of damage. Probably not the best on Watering Hole because of this location here. Can go for fast 2-town center plays here and play for a defense of the Ragnarok with fully upgraded units, which works quite nicely. You should be able to get Hephaestus off of the 2-town centers faster than GrandMonster. Alternatively, you just go for an Athena rush here, or not quite an Athena rush, maybe a 2-town center Athena play and put some pressure on in the mid game. Could be an option as well for the Zeus, but GrandMonster going with his tried and true Odin. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's it. Alrighty. So, this is the world we live in. What GrandMonster can do, conversely here on this map, which I could actually out, is actually got a pretty unlucky spawn here with the water not going to cut this off here. But GrandMonster can just wall this off or wall this off, rush a second town center here, and be fine against pretty much anything that I Kill You Die can do. If I Kill You Die goes Hermes. Alternatively, he can if I Kill You Die goes Athena here, he doesn't need to wall this off at all, and he can just go for raiding cavalry, play really defensive, pick off straggler units, raid a bit, and try and get to Skadi fast and go for a kind of Skadi power spike to beat the Athena army as an option. Yes, that's the thing. And let's see how this build order is. This is the classic build order here for Greek players, and he's actually doing it. He's watched my video. No, he hasn't. He's put one too many villagers on food. Never mind. He's gonna put villagers over the wood now. Okay, no, he's not. Tell a lie. I got excited for no reason. So this is a little bit of a dated build order. It gets you a little bit safer to the classical age, but it does mean that you're not going to be able to afford Jason, Odysseus, plus a bunch of other stuff. So this could just be a standard Hermes play here, and if it is, it's totally fine. But this is a bit of a giveaway for centaurs here. I think for I Kill You Die, he might go Athena, but there's the Hermes, and he's got one villager. Or he's going to probably put. Maybe no. What's he doing? No villagers to wood yet? Villagers going over onto the temples. Yeah, there they are. 5 villagers onto wood. Leave 5 villagers on food. And you sit here with 9 wood. Probably don't need this villager on gold. You only need about 100 gold to be gathered. If we check that out, you can see I Kill You Die doesn't quite have it just yet. He's probably grabbed hand axe already, so he only needs an extra 10 gold, and then he doesn't really need any more gold to be gathered for a little bit. So you can actually go 10 villagers onto wood here once that 50 gold is being gathered, because that allows you to get your Jason out, your hand axe out, Odysseus, Centaur, Sylvan Law, all the good things. And we'll see what GrandMonster's got in plan here. He's already building these buildings up nice and defensively. You have to play around Athena every single game against Zeus. It's part of the it's part of Zeus's kit. He's got 2 options, two threatening options for Odin. Centaur raids, Athena rush. You have to play around both. So we do see this location here being nice and defensive. I actually really like this from GrandMonster because this here means he only has to wall off here and here. So he's cut the base off a little bit. So he's made his base a little bit less big. And we'll see if he throws those walls up straight away, which I'd love to see. We do see an immediate forest fire into this location, but the villagers are immediately going to move over here. Valkyrie moving forward will get insta-bolted here. And we do still see that first centaur gets built. And then Sylvan Law is coming in straight away. They're going to be running straight into the base of GrandMonster. Second longhouse is up. Raining Cavalry getting built here. Still no walls yet for GrandMonster, which does make me a little bit sad, but the buildings here for GrandMonster do tell the story, and he does still have a lot of hunt in the base that he's got here. He's got this elephant up here as well, and that, unfortunately, that's it for that side. So he's got a forward hippopotamus, forward zero that these centaur can deal some damage on, and the centaur is going to try and sneak through the bottom. The sentry tower will spot it, and everything the GrandMonster did initially here is making no sense now. I thought this was perfect play here to just cut this map up a little bit, but he's just going for the greedy spam the walls up right now. I mean, he has time to do it, but it makes me sad. And the centaur going to turn around and get some damage dealt to those raiding cavalry. It's probably not the best idea to trade HP with an Odin player, because you can see this HP is going to slowly but surely regenerate. Not only that, he's got the Valkyrie here to heal this one back up. Especially if it sits idle here, it goes up. What's the speed it goes up? I can never tell. It goes up fairly quickly. And the Valkyrie turning around, or the Centaur turning around, doing some more damage to those raiding cavalry that are going to be retreating. And the Valkyrie going to be returning back and healing those guys back up that took some damage there. And the walls are almost finished for GrandMonster here. And this is perfect for him. He is moving up to these hippopotamus, which is fine because he's finished the walls, but yeah, it's good for him. So he's timed it nicely. So I tell a lie, his build's fine. It's just I like the idea that he was going for with these houses and the longhouse and the buildings here, just to chop the map up a little bit shorter. But it's fine. Didn't do it. Went for the greedy play. That's good. It's good. Villagers now going onto this town center here. This is a little bit dangerous. We do see the walls coming up now for I Kill You Die. He has to get these up pronto, because if these units sneak into his base, he's not going to be able to defend against this very easily at all. But luckily for him, there is no entrance up on this side of the map here, though there is an entrance over here, and we do see a crocodile sniping a villager here for I Kill You Die. He was going for a side build there. The lone crocodile is guarding his bridge, and there is no way past him without killing him. And the Raven does spot this town center going up. And GrandMonster is still just pumping villagers out. He's actually stopped building raiding cavalry. He's making some Herso here. Raiding cavalry are going to try and sneak through this. But honestly, they can sneak around this and go through. He knows that this is open here now because he spotted it. And if he can sneak those centaur into the own player's base, they can cause some crazy damage. And in fact, you kind of have to do it. You have to get into your opponent's base if you're going centaurs, because they don't do a lot. They're not the best of units if they're not picking off villagers. He does pick off one raiding cavalry, does some damage to another one here. Town center is just about up for GrandMonster. These villagers still hunting over here on the hippopotamus. No problems there for GrandMonster. Do see 5 villagers moving forward now for I Kill You Die. What's the plan here? Side build into Hoplite Rush? Could be an option. He doesn't have a lot. He's going to be greeted with a frost here. So even if he... Oh, I don't know about this at all. He's going to be walling this off here. There's hyena and a crocodile here to prevent this from happening. That's pretty funny that he's sent all of those units over here. So we'll see what he does with these villages after the wall's finished. Moves forward. He's going to eat the crowned crane. Maybe save it for later for a side build. The town center coming up now for I Kill You Die. So he's sort of playing into GrandMonster's plan here a little bit, it looks like. The dwarves coming over here, going to be building up this, gathering from this gold mine, more walls coming up for GrandMonster. He knows that there's no raids, that the centaurs can't do anything if they can't get into his base. And I'm still confused as to why I Kill You Die has not just gone, I'm going to run through here and hit this. We do see an archery range military academy coming up now for I Kill You Die. And Longhouse coming up for GrandMonster. Does snipe another raiding cavalry. So I guess the centaurs are getting some value here. It's not like they're not getting value. They're picking off raiding cavalry one by one. Slowly but surely, but that's good and all. It's good and all. 3 talent centers now for I Kill You Die. He's booming mightily fine. He's going to start throwing up some of those military buildings here. 2 military academies. What he can do is build a dock here as well, and then just over this way if he wants. Gets a transport ship or something. Now the unit's going to be building straight into the military academy and the archery range here, gearing up for this attack here. But I'm sure that GrandMonster is going to be able to hit the next stage very soon. He's got the resources, but I do not see an armory for him just yet. He's forgotten his armory, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. Always the problem of Norse is that armory coming up when you want it to be up. Could have put it up ages ago. He's still a little bit short on resources, but I think that's mostly just because he realized that he can't advance just yet. And he's got another dwarf coming out. It's a gatherer coming out instead of a dwarf, and he's going to be clicking advance here through Scardies, the obvious option. At some point, there it is. Ulfsuck in the back, ready to build this up. We've got 4 Toxotes here, 4 hoplites as well. So units ready to push in or getting close to that. See, I could die 89 population here. As he is waiting, biding his time for this attack. But Frost is going to be here, so even if this does a lot of damage, or even if it does something, it's just going to get frosted and he's going to lose all these units here. 2 arrows is coming up right now, or it has been spotted. I'm surprised that hasn't been picked up because it's a very strong relic. I guess it's not that good for the Odin player, but you know, what can you do? Villagers do get picked off here, and GrandMonster's going to be like, what? How'd you get in here? Let's not realize that there's a little bridge over there, I don't think. Wait, let me check out his point of view. Oh, he knows it's there. He should know that that's there, that it doesn't finish. Oopsies. And with the wall there, it means that he's never gonna find out, I don't think, unless he checks out that location there. And now I Kill You Die, taking down the wooden wall from behind, then he's gonna be able to slip those Centaur into his into GrandMonster's base. But with the Frost Giants coming out, they're able to slow down those Centaur fairly nicely there. Now I Kill You Die gonna just leave that spot, come back to his home base here. And I think he should be thinking about getting to the Mythic Age here. The armory's going up. And GrandMonster's definitely going to hit the Mythic Age first at this point. There's the bolt onto the Frost Giant. Nice usage there to pick that one off at this period of time. And the Centaur's a nice micro to pull the raiding cavalry around. The hoplites doing a lot of damage here, unupgraded, able to push GrandMonster back. Now the Hearse are coming in, going to be able to do a lot of damage to these Centaur. You have to micro these away here, but they're not able to do so. Really poor pathfinding there from the Centaurs. Run straight by those Hearse. So you've got to control them individually to make sure that they don't do that. And he's going to be retreating away. You've got to stop building these Centaur at this point. It's a lot of resources to be spending on units that don't do a lot of damage against the Odin army anymore. And we see more of them getting picked off, and there's so many Hersa here for GrandMonster, which probably overdid it, but I Kill You Die sort of playing into it, being like, oh well, I can just keep building these, but you've got so many Hersa. But he's still fighting, which is totally fine for GrandMonster, I guess, who's able to continue building villages, get his 3rd town center up, and be totally fine here. We do see Apollo coming through now for I Kill You Die. And his villagers down here have moved on to the wood here. So he can still push forward with this side build if he wants. Frost Giant there, going to be able to freeze the Centaur there before going after it. There is a Jason on top of him, so we'll be able to pick it off pretty fast. Maybe just about as fast as a Frost Giant can kill off the Centaur, and then he will get picked off. So nice trade there. And I Kill You Die. Throwing up more military buildings here. Villagers do finish that food there, and he doesn't have some, well, he has some rhino over here he can move to, and over here actually, so has a lot of food he can move to, and it does look like that's immediately what he's going for. Jarl here getting picked off. Apollo comes through for I Kill You Die. Now we see some So the hill fort getting repaired. Villagers moving up to this location, getting building a market in this corner. I like that he's preemptively done this because he probably doesn't have the resources to advance here. GrandMonster not close to the next stage unless he's already advancing. No, he's getting plow. Town Center's still not up for GrandMonster. He's spamming villagers over onto wood here. He needs to start getting farms up. He's going to be out of food or out of hunt fairly soon. He does still have these zebra here, and he has elephant up here as well. So I'd love to see these 23 villages moving up onto these elephant now instead of onto wood. But now the frost giant's moving forward. Need to see a Heracles out ASAP right now, as soon as possible for Achilles to pick these off. And there's the Heracles out as soon as he sees these frost giants. And they're able to pick off the Manticore and another Centaur. That's a huge unit to pick off. It does a lot of damage sitting in the back, but if it's in the front and gets picked off like that, it's not good. It's not good. It does nothing. And now all those Centaur that he got built there, all just find out that they were lied to. They're not actually that strong against the frost giants. And there's a frost for GrandMonster. Pretty preemptive there. Actually, only at 115 population to GrandMonster's 133 population here. And we see donkey caravans already starting for I Kill You Die. So an interesting decision here. I Kill You Die is going to be careful not to keep fighting here. Some players do this, and it's really, really bad. You need to keep the units that aren't frosted back, because he can just pick them off with these units here if he wants to. We do see that's sort of what he's going for at this point, and that's bad for I Kill You Die. It's a really nice trade for GrandMonster if he does that here. Moving in, taking these units out. Pushing forward with more longhouses, 3 town centers up for GrandMonster, and he's still not eating these elephant. Come on. Eat the elephant! And the Jason here, still doing a lot of damage. Heracles gets unfrozen. Going to be moving on to the Frost Giant immediately. Nice micro from GrandMonster to pull him away as he's chasing it down. Really hard to pick this unit off. 480 HP. He will be retreating back to his town center. Sitting under here. He's still sitting very low on the population here. 122 to 145. Has a lot of wood and gold in the bank though. Maybe needs more military buildings, to be honest, to spam these units out. Could buy some food if he needs to help this one out as well. We do see a fortress coming up in this corner now. Not sure what that's about, but it's potentially like a late game Heliopolis play, which I Kill You Die is going to attempt to do to maybe like hit the home base of GrandMonster while the Rag is going on. If GrandMonster goes for Ragnarok, he may go tier here. Sometimes he likes tier instead. But still just pumping out villages. And fighting here is perfectly fine for GrandMonster because he wants to like over-economize if he's going Rag. So he can just keep this fight happening, trade these units pretty efficiently and just keep this going on. Finally, some more military buildings coming down for I Kill You Die. And he's going to be popping those units into the military academy as he's trying to get them going again. And GrandMonster's units just streaming in here, keeping the pressure on. I'd love to see like a portable ram built. Just 1 or 2 portable rams instead of just spamming out Huskarl and Jarl. Just 1 or 2. And you can push through here and try and defend them a little bit. Force the units out a little bit more. We're picking off these Toxotes. Nice play here. You do see heavy infantry coming through. Got Winter Harvest and irrigation coming through for Kill You Die, GrandMonster Winter Harvest. That's the farm upgrade, which gives 20% faster farm gather rate. It's absolutely bonkers. He's already got irrigation himself. We do see a temple up here on this side of the map for Kill You Die. Obviously looking to get some side raids here with Collosus a little bit later, but I think I Kill You Die is still very far away from the Mythic Age here. Still 117 population for I Kill You Die. He's got his fortress up, moving up onto this gold mine now. Crocodile here might cause a bit of issues, but he's just chilling. Not hungry today. GrandMonster getting very, very close to being able to advance here as well. This I Kill You Die just not able to produce these units out and defend. Oh, this is just some brutal play from GrandMonster at this point. And you can see he doesn't have that many units here. Really doesn't have that many units at all. But there's just the quality of units. Very, very strong here. Some docks up already for GrandMonster. Not sure if he spotted this or not. We see a Juggernaut getting built already for I Kill You Die, and the Longboats are going to actually be able to hit this trade route a little bit, which is kind of huge. Now the unit's popping out for GrandMonster, for I Kill You Die, sorry, finally able to push GrandMonster back. But check out the tech here. We've got Bronze Shields coming forward, Bowsaw for GrandMonster as well. Getting very close to that age up here for both players, actually. Almost 2,000 gold for I Kill You Die, so he can buy his way to Hephaestus here if he cancels all of these wood units and just goes Toxotes. Sorry, food units and just goes Toxotes here. We'll be able to advance through Hephaestus very, very fast. So we'll see if that's what he wants to do. The Juggernaut is out to pick off these longboats now, and they're still going to be going after the donkey caravans. It's a little bit funny. You can build up a watchtower over here as well as an option. Now we just see a random hill fort going to get picked off now or by I Kill You Die. And GrandMonster finally going through Balder. Might not actually be a bad idea for I Kill You Die to go Hera here, which he may go for. It doesn't quite kill off a huge Ragnarok, but it can really slow him down. And then just try and get champion infantry yourself and get all of the mail upgrades. The Frost Giant coming in, doing its thing yet again. GrandMonster still happy to fight, still happy to trade units for population here. I mean, trade military for economy here. So there's dwarves you can build. So there's some gatherers you can build. Idle gatherers, totally fine here for him. He doesn't care about it at all. Just wants them for the cheap Ragnaroks, rag heroes. And I Kill You Die is hurting a little bit here. But the military buildings are up right now. Building a Manticore? Hera's on the way though. So this Ragnarok is going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. And it may hit just as Hera comes through as well, because we're 99% versus 60%. So he may go for an immediate rag here, thinking he's got the timing down. It's looking like he's not going. There it is. So it will come, and there's not going to be any buildings for him to just retreat into. We'll see if he has. Does he have any transport ships? No transport ships to speak of. Manticore got sniped here. Ox caravans try to come up to this location, but there's kind of a wall here with the temple. Can sneak by though. It's not quite good enough. Now the rag hero is coming in here. Will this be? Surely you just immediately lightning storm here. Yeah, there's so many units here, but with the Frost Giant and the Fire Giant, they soak up quite a few hits of it. And he's not using it just yet. Gonna immediately lose the town center though. So can GrandMonster get value out of this? 362 population rag here with almost full bronze. He's got bronze weapons coming through, so it will be full bronze. And I Kill You Die throwing up buildings everywhere, fortresses. I think it's better to throw up towers than fortresses. The fortresses take a bit longer to build, and they don't actually do as much damage as a tower, or like as much as two towers. So 2 towers will go up about as fast as a fortress, or maybe a little bit faster than a fortress. What's the BP? 50 versus, that's 100 seconds. The consistency of this tooltip, I don't know, man. And now GrandMonster ready to start pushing in. He sees, if he's smart, he'll just go straight up to this trade route here and cut the trade route off that I Kill You Die's made here. He does have this back gold mine with 1,000 gold in it, and he has snuck this gold mine here as well, so he can send some villagers forward there if he wants to sneak that one. And we will be seeing that lightning storm coming down very shortly. The Medusa getting sniped though, not able to pick off the Fire Giant. Now the hero rags are getting picked off. The army of of GrandMonster going to be retreating, but you can see that this lightning storm does not quite pick off the units with one attack, and there's going to be still a lot left over as the lightning storm finishes. There's still 297 population for GrandMonster. He's going to be picking off all of these donkey caravans. We'll see if I Kill You Die makes this bale over here onto this location. If he builds a market over here, he's going to drag the attention over there. And now the army here for I Kill You Die, or sorry, for GrandMonster taking down the hometown center. There's the ceasefire for I Kill You Die. He's still at ceasefire. I actually think he could have gone and Feistus here and ceasefired when this town center was going down, and then gone full armory upgrades, and he could have been fine here. I question the Hera just for that sake there, because he's got bronze upgrades already, so maybe I tell a lie, but he could have full iron. I don't know. Ceasefire here. I guess the Hera picks off a bunch of units, but you can just put up towers behind here and defend this location even stronger if you delay this location going down. I'm surprised he didn't ceasefire a bit earlier, honestly. And we do see quite a few ox caravans here for GrandMonster. He's got seven, and they're getting 36 gold for him. There's the champion infantry coming through for I Kill You Die. He's actually got quite a few military academies, but they aren't all producing units here. He needs them all to be producing if he wants to keep this production up. Nice concave that he's got actually here for himself here. Only a couple of these rag heroes are fighting at this point, so this is kind of like the Spartans against the Persians in 300 here. But he does lose the town center at this point. Still sitting very high on the population, 135 population. We do see the Bellerophon jumping in there, going to be able to snipe that Frost Giant, but will get surrounded and lose his life there. A little bit unfortunate. Very strong unit at this point. You see the Raven checking out on this location. Villagers going over onto these elephants because he knows that he needs as many Hephaestus as he possibly can. So this is going to be huge for him. And it's looking as if GrandMonster's Ragnarok is being completely shut down right now, and he has to rebuild his villages already. But this is very, very different to the last game. He's got economy to boot. A lot of economy in reserves here for GrandMonster. He's going to retreat with these units, and he's got all of these units to be built here. You can see GrandMonster's got no food left. He needs to make sure he's not building any food-based units. He can build Thrown Axemen if he wants, but no food units. He's got Fire Giants to come in and pick off these Hephaestus as well. Do you see a Frost Giant is here? The army coming in right now to pick off these champion Hephaestus here. It's still bronze upgrades versus bronze upgrades at this point. Ox caravans randomly up here as well with this market. It's a pretty obnoxious market. But same with I Kill You Die, to be honest. And now he's going to be grabbing back his town center. And I think GrandMonster's economy is going to recover here. No problems. We do see a fortress coming up over on this location here to push onto the town center, get some Heliopoli. I think it's in line of sight for GrandMonster though. Well, it's not. This is why you always get signal flares in the sentry tower. It's vitally important to get signal flares. We do see the Oxy Juggernauts are out, but they're not able to pick off anything. Their town centers are not in range of water here, so this is not going to be a problem for him. We do see GrandMonster coming back in, going to be preventing this town center. Not quite fast enough with that army there, and the Hephaestus is going to be too much for these this infantry-based army of GrandMonster, so he's going to have to retreat away from here. But he's actually deciding to fight with the Fire Giant. Maybe I would have win this, not with that like that. You need to make sure the special attack spreads onto these units. We see Odysseus is in here, and he's going to be helping to pick off the Fire Giant in the back. It's not the best unit to be taking him down because he does have 80% pierce armor. And he will be retreating here. If we check out the population now, it's 100 population for GrandMonster to 140 population for I Kill You Die. And I don't know if I've said this before, but you got to stop fighting with the Ragnarok when you're on the defensive. Take the defensive spots you need to, because you need to rebuild this economy, and then you can defend and then push back with the 4 town centers advantage. But now he has to rebuild the army as well. He will have this fire giant here to help out though. So these surpassmists this is a terrible fight for I Kill You Die. If he had a Bellerophon out, it would have been fine, but loses all of these Hypaspis right now to the fire giant, and even with the Odysseus, it's just they all melted there. What an incredibly poor decision there by I Kill You Die to fight those fire giants. You should realize how strong they are as they're able to make mincemeat of those Hypaspists. And GrandMonster going to be in a decent position here, as he's picked off a lot of those Hypaspis. We check out the population; it's 118 of 140. We do see I Kill You Die coming up with the fortress though, and all the towers and the walls. The Petropolis coming out. This is really nice play, but GrandMonster can make some Oxy Juggernauts here. I don't think they're called Oxy Juggernauts, but upgraded siege ships. Draka? Is that what they're called? Dragon ships. Upgraded dragon ships. And we do see GrandMonster retaliating to this, sending over his beefy myth units to take this fortress down. And Town Center is awfully close to going down. He does have Masons. The Fire Giants actually can just pick these off not too badly. With 15 hack damage, they take the Petropolis down nice and fast. That's going to stop this attack right now. And yeah, a little bit of a lull here. The Hypaspis looking for something to do. I Kill You Die is in a really difficult situation though. He's got this he had a transport ship. He's got this transport ship, so he can move villages over here. Get a fortress in this position here, or even raid with these hoplites here wouldn't have been a bad idea. Just to slow the economic recovery for GrandMonster. But GrandMonster is going to be in a fine position right now. You can see he's already got 800 food in the bank, spamming out military units here. Start making Jarls again. The Bellerophon will be able to snipe the Fire Giants. At this point, you want to stop building Fire Giants against Zeus. You want to get those Frost Giants out with what are they called? The Frost Giants of Thurm. You get Rhyme out, because you see the big difference here between the Fire Giant and the Frost Giant is they both have 600 HP. Once you get that upgrade on them, they get extra 200 HP or something. So they survive significantly longer against the Bellerophon. So it gives you the time to pick them off. Whereas the Fire Giant does not, gets picked off very, very fast. Also, not only that, they have I don't know, they can actually deal with these Heliopoli a little bit faster. And there we go. Champion inventory coming in for GrandMonster. Technologies being researched. None now. Hill fort going up, forward hill fort, and it's looking like GrandMonster has solidified his position right now. All these Hypaspis for I Kill You Die are the wrong units here. The right actual option here for I Kill You Die is building Toxotes and Petropoli and towers and pushing forward like that. Had he done that over here in this position before, I mean, maybe if he had a Bellerophon over there, it would have been a good time to be alive, but he did not. Heracles gets sniped by all these throwing axemen. Fire Giant sitting in the back, Bellerophon coming in with his eyes set on the Fire Giant. If you actually retreat the Fire Giant, if you just retreat the Fire Giant when the Bellerophon jumps in, the Bellerophon does no damage. So a little bit of micro tricks there. So Bellerophon's not this all-powerful unit with no counterplay. That was a nice play there by GrandMonster, baiting the Bellerophon in before retreating away. And he's going to be coming back in again. Not paying attention that time. Could not retreat him. And the Bellerophon actually doing some nice dukage here with the 6.0 speed. Finally deciding to sit in one spot here, able to start taking it down again. I think he's got crenellations. Oh, no crenellations here. And the Bellerophon almost picking off another Fire Giant there. And the Fire Giant will get picked off by the Odysseus in the end of the day. But GrandMonster is holding this position. Finally starting to make some ballista now. This is going to be scary for I Kill You Die. He's making a pacifist against Thrown Axeman. But the ballista do 11 pierce damage. And these pacifists only have 27 pierce armor. And that's more than one arrow. What is it? 4 arrows each? It's like 44 pierce damage or something crazy if they hit. And if they're all bunched up like this, most of those projectiles will deal damage. But it's looking like I Kill You Die's got no options here. He could go for a side attack here with a Heliopoli and or Heliopolis and try and push in here. We just see some Oxy. There it is. Oxy Dragon ships. Cleaning this side build up, and now GrandMonster just putting his foot on the gas here as he's pushing in the ballista. There we go, Fire Giant Ducats yet again. Love it. Nice retreat there away from the Bellerophon. Every time you see him come in, you just run back. We need to see some walls getting thrown up, some towers getting thrown up. Once you make these ballast, you have to realize they're really strong, but they get picked off very fast. So you got to be super careful with them. So walls, towers, move forward. You got to do it slowly. No sense in rushing the victory here in a commanding position for GrandMonster. And not only that, the towers be able to deal with the Bellerophon, because once you get crenellations out, which he doesn't have watchtowers. Once you get crenellations and watchtowers out, if the Bellerophon jumps in, he's going to take a ton of damage to those watchtowers. Bellerophon jumping back in, does get a hit there and snipes the Fire Giant. Will be retreating away from it at that point. Petropolis trying to snipe down the hill fort. See if these great Jarls will go over there and do anything there. We do see champion cavalry coming in, iron shields as well. Some Myrmidon now coming out for I Kill You Die as he sees the Jarls. And the Bellerophon coming back in, snipes another Fire Giant. Nice micro from I Kill You Die with that one there. Before turning his sights onto the ballista. This is why you got to build walls, got to build towers, because this Bellerophon can come in and clean this up nicely. It's a nice play from I Kill You Die to snipe that one as well before retreating away. The hill fort does get picked off there. But GrandMonster still making ground in this location here. Able to pick off these units as they spawn. If we check out the population, it's 128 population for I Kill You Die. He does have the Oxy Juggernauts here, so it's very difficult for him. And the Bellerophon jumping in, going to be picking off even more of these ballista. Some throwing axemen helping out, but he doesn't have that many units here at this point. Needs to get that Jarl over here to help out. The ghost building here actually preventing the Jarls from coming in fast. And a lot of these ballista now targeting the fortified town centers here, but losing them as they go on here. Still 70 HP on the Bellerophon. If he has a temple up, he could get the Temple of Healing thing. What's it called? It's just called Temple of Healing, and then not have to spend the extra 400 gold and 6 favor on the Bellerophon. Let's get it going again. The Juggernauts here as well for I Kill You Die to help out in the water. Wouldn't mind seeing some triremes here to just prevent this push from happening a little bit, but not going for it just yet. It's the ballista going onto this town center here. The Heliopoli are here though. I'm gonna be able to shut this down a little bit. And for some reason, we're seeing a 5 HP Bellerophon run into the base of GrandMonster, who's actually started a nice side build here with all these military academies, fortress as well, going after this after these houses here. For some reason, he's doing no damage because half of the projectiles are hitting the wooden wall here. But more Heliopoli coming out. Gonna have to transfer some of these Ulfsark. How much resources? He's got a lot of resources here. So I've seen this happen to me a lot with Norse when the Greek players do side builds, and I've over economized after I've gone and done my Ragnarok, and I've re-ragged. Basically, I can actually, what you do is you just grab all of these villages here. You have excess villages, so you just turn them into Ulfsark, and that's kind of exactly what GrandMonster's finally done here. And then you can kind of do an Ulf rag and then push this back and then clean this up nice and fast. That's also why you want to be building Frost Giant here as well, because they pick off these Heliopoli nicely as well. And the Heracles coming out, looking like the push has been stopped in the front for the time being, while GrandMonster deals with the push in his side of the map. Fire Giant coming over here to help out as well, as these Ulfsark trying to clean everything up. Another hill fort is up here. And the Heliopoli are going to try and move in yet again. Baspis getting built now for I Kill You Die. So we'll be able to defend against the Ulfsark. This means that GrandMonster has to make raiding cavalry. They do build a bit faster. No, they're still 18 in build time, but you have to build them here against this. Once you see all of these military cannons, you see the Hypaspis getting built, you've got to build raiding cavalry. Can't keep slamming Ulfsark into this. And the temple was rebuilt. Still building fire giants. It's tough to know. It's tough to know if you haven't experienced it, how good frost giants are against Greek. It's so very, very good. It's the only civilization I recommend Norse players to go for frost giants over fire giants. It's Zeus, Hades, and maybe not. Maybe stick with fire giants for against Poseidon. But if he's making Heliopoli, definitely frost giants are good against Heliopoli. So don't feel like you shouldn't. These fire giants are defending this, but if there was a Bellerophon here, there is a Heracles here, but if there was a Bellerophon here, these would get picked off very, very fast. But those siege units have been picked off. Still trying to push forward into this base here. I Kill You Die defending nicely. We can see GrandMonster with a lot of resources in the bank here. Still has a lot of villages. And he's rebuilding them. Idle military units as well, needs to sort that out. Bellerophon moving forward for I Kill You Die, just going to be coming in to support this, pick off these units. We do see some raiding cavalry getting built out. I Kill You Die can now make some Myrmidon here, or some hoplites, and keep switching around the units he's building to stop this from happening. With these raiding cavalry here though, he should be able to pick off that Bellerophon fairly easily. It's probably got thundering hooves, it does. Needs to get that iron mail though. Short that one, but other than that, he's in a good spot. Making some portable rams. Does have, what's it called? Or a dwarven auger? Auger? Not sure. And going to be attempting to push forward with them. They do so much damage. If you check out their crush, it's 68 crush damage compared to everything else. It's finally a decent unit once you get the Balder upgrade here. Starting to take this down. The Paspist helping out to take it down, but it's actually going to deal so much damage to this town center here, as no villagers are helping out, and the throwing action actually picks off the Paspist. Finally, a villager turns around to pick off the portable ram, and the fire giant that we're here are now picked off. We do see a portable ram coming in for GrandMonster. And he's actually moving in with these navy units as well to take out more trade here. He's got the heavy longbow to snipe down the market. It's going to be a very slow process though. Even with the burning pitch, I don't think burning pitch gives ships bonus damage. Well, it does give ships bonus damage first buildings, but it's still only doing like 5 damage a shot, or if that. So still a very slow process. Augur apparently, says Pepe. Okay. And I Kill You Die still doing pretty good. He's managed to hold on to this this location here, but he needs to think about making more effort here. Put some towers up. Push forward with some Petropoli in this location would be really key. Make a Paspist plus towers plus Petropoli and push in here. Does he have resources to do that? He's got resources. He just doesn't have the gold here because it's been sniped by ships. So maybe that's why he's not going for it. Just trying to defend this front here. Doing a nice job for the time being. Temple does get picked off here. And GrandMonster sniping all of these, or trying to snipe all of these buildings here. Or Heliopoli. Should just keep building those portable rams, man. They were doing good. Did a lot of damage to that town center. There's one Bellerophon just like sitting here being like, no, this is my location. What are you going to do? There's be building a hill fort here. Should be able to get it. Nope, not able to get it up. Not fast enough. GrandMonster just not able to push through at this point. He's finally building some Frost Giant though. Yes. Frost Giant. Yes. Does he have rhyme on them? No rhyme. He needs rhyme. He's got 100 favor, so and a lot of resources in the bank, so no excuse. And that's the first time you'll ever see that unit built seriously in the game. Oh, that's funny. I don't think I've ever seen. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that unit built seriously in the game ever in my entire life. It's actually a really smart play here. Pick off these guys quite nicely. You're gonna be able to clean this up. It does like no damage though. Well, I tell a lie. It does a lot of damage. What is it? It does damage when it dies. Special ability explosion. There's 300 hack damage within 7.5 range after death. There you go. Learn something new every day. The Underworld, though, coming in for I Kill You Die, ready to start pushing into this location here. There's already 14 Ulfsark here, though. So they should be able to clean this up fairly fast. The villagers just got turned to Ulfsark, it looks like. More Ulfsark coming in for GrandMonster over here. As this seems like a last-ditch effort from I Kill You Die, who's now cleaned everything up here. If you had some rams here, which he does have, you should be able to take down this town center. While this is all going on, it's looking like he's possibly going to lose this hometown center. The Bellerophon going to get sniped. The pacifist coming in here needs to make some raiding cavalry as well, but he hasn't done it just yet. The town center for GrandMonster does go down. Huge for I Kill You Die if he can hold his own town center here, but there's portable rams just coming in right now. If we check out I Kill You Die's got enough food here. Needs to move some villagers over onto this location, pick off these portable rams, but they're going to be doing so much damage here. Needs to snipe those villagers to keep the rams alive to take the town center down. Looks like more buildings over here for GrandMonster going down here. He's got so much economy here at this point. He needs to be sending some raiding cavalry down to deal with those pacifists and those Heliopoli. Possibly make some Frost Giants back here as well to help out, but not doing so. There's a Frost Giant finally for GrandMonster. He's able to push through here, kills the hometown center of I Kill You Die. Have we seen some villagers coming in? Can we see some sort of a base trade here? Not just yet. We haven't seen I Kill You Die try and erase villagers through there. Still building those heroes back up. Some villagers coming in now. Going to be attempting to prevent this town center from going up, but he just needs to get his own second town center back here. Do you see the portable ram taking down the fortress here for I Kill You Die? These villagers getting sniped as they're making their way for that underworld passage to get this town center. I've got 4 villagers already over here. There's farms here that he can go onto as well without having to rebuild them, and he can move over and take this town center as well. This is going to be a very difficult base race here for both players, to be honest. There's more siege over here for I Kill You Die. You can take down these buildings very, very fast. The Ulfsarks try and take down the villagers, though. Pacifist gets pulled back over here to snipe these Ulfsark that are coming in. More Ulfsark coming in for this location here. Why are you building Ulfsark? Build raiding cavalry. I know they only cost 2 population. They cost the same population. They build a little bit slower, but you should have out levy at the moment, at the very least, which will make it a little bit easier on yourself. But not happening just yet. We see houses getting rebuilt for GrandMonster. He's going to start targeting down this town center, the fortress here, going down slowly but surely by these throwing axemen, and it will go down. And then these units are going to be targeting down this town center as well. And we'll see I Kill You Die going for this town center here, not opting to take down the underworld passage while this is all going on, though. The villagers coming out, going to be trying to snipe down these villagers, or this army that's going after the town center is a really smart play at that point. But the throwing axemen coming in, going to be able to snipe these villagers off very, very fast as well. This is all happening, plus the Jarls doing so much stuff here. The villagers do get the town centers up, so we're back up to 4-2 town centers here. This could be the craziest base trade of the century here. But we actually have seen the trade route get swapped, it looks like, as these ox caravan are going up to this town center now and back to the market here. So he has to build a market over here at this point, and this town center getting repaired up. There's no siege here for for GrandMonster, but the champion throwing axe will do a fair bit of damage. If you imagine these are hoplites here, classical hoplites. They're basically doing what they would do to this town center. So that's the thing. Trying to snipe the villagers while he goes at this is going to be the big problem for Aku Yudai. He's now got idle donkey caravans here because his market's being killed. He's going to rebuild that market, start his trade route over here. Heliopolis needs to go after this town center. Why are you going after the docks? Kill the town center. You're giving GrandMonster too much breathing room here. Now the Frost Giants, the Therm Frost Giants have come through. So they're sitting at 798 HP here. So they're going to be moving over onto this town center to try and take it out, which is going to be key. They've got 12 crush damage plus the 21 hack damage, so very strong units. Villagers do get garrison fast there. Still not tasked onto the town center yet. Not sure what's going on there. And finally the Heliopolis moving over here, but already the hill fort is up. More units have popped out now for GrandMonster over here, who's spammed out all of these military buildings already to defend here. And I Kill You Die in that moment decides it's not worth it to continue here. Taps out. GG. Well played by GrandMonster. I tell you what, these games are crazy. GrandMonster with the Ragnarok, able to take control of the middle of the map, but then got destroyed. And then I Kill You Die with all of the side builds, not quite able to take the town center down. Then finally goes for an underworld attack, takes the town center down, takes it for himself, but isn't able to kill the second town center fast enough. Loses his town center, or just about. And in that moment, just decided it was too much here. Man, there's so much to be learned from this game, both from what they did and what they could have done to make that late game such a different situation here. I Kill You Die should have made Toxotes at some point. He should have switched into the Toxotes, made towers. He obviously didn't have too much wood left here at all. If anything, actually no wood here. He has wood over here that he could steal from GrandMonster. But he should have been making Toxotes. GrandMonster should have been making Frost Giants here to deal with this this attack. Because if you had the Frost Giants, the Heliopolis, they don't deal damage while they're dying. So unlike the Fire Giant, which can deal with Heliopolis slowly, the Heliopolis still make progress, and you don't make progress back. So Frost Giant delay that much better. Not getting Levy. I think he didn't get Levy. Really important upgrade there to grab so that you can make raiding cavalry to defend against the pacifist straight away, because it will bring the what's the reduction? Is it 20%? 20% reduction. So it's gonna take those raiding cavalry, which is only 18 seconds, down to like 15 seconds or something, or maybe a little bit less. But didn't get that out, and then you can defend very easily against those pacifist pushes and clean this up nice and easily there. But didn't do it, just stuck with the infantry, and it managed to work it out because both players made some mistakes here in the late game. So GG, well played. GrandMonster 11 the series 1-1. Move on to game number 3 very shortly. If you're enjoying these games, please consider hitting the follow button on Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the videos. And I'll see you guys in the next game.